bet it was an exciting time to be here. I mean, the war had just ended and the city was growing rapidly, both in terms of population and industry. Of course, Main and Hastings was still downtown center at that point, and so this is where all the best clubs and restaurants and hotels would have been. The Patricia Hotel was established back in 1914, and one of the most important parts of any hotel is the bar. And the Patricia Hotel housed one of the most popular saloons and music halls of the time, the Patricia Cafe, which is now known as Pat's Pub. This was one of the places to go for drinks and games and, of course, live music. Very few people in this town know that from 1919 through 1921, one of the greatest musicians of the 20th century lived and performed right here in Pat's Pub, and that was Ferdinand Jelly Roll Morton.
I'd say Jelly Roll Morton was a genius, first and foremost. He called himself the inventor of jazz, and that was way back in 1902. He was a prolific composer. In 1915, he had the very first jazz song published, called Jelly Roll Blues. Along with Louis Armstrong and Buddy Bolden, he was, you could call him one of the progenitors of this style of music, jazz music. He was a big influence on people like Fats Waller, Teddy Wilson, James P. Johnson, also the horn players and singers that came after him too, and including the arrangers such as Fletcher Henderson. They would have paid attention. Duke Ellington, early Duke, would have paid attention to his compositions. His piano playing, strictly pianistically speaking, he was brilliant. He was amazing. He had a really strong left hand. He had killer rhythm, great time. His improvisations were the envy of everyone at that time. Jelly Roll, he truly was one of the absolute greatest of all time.
Like a lot of stories surrounding Jelly Roll Morton, the details are a little blurry, but as I understand it, the reason Jelly Roll ended up in Vancouver was he had followed the love of his life to Tacoma, Washington, and he loved to gamble, and so he was at this very high-stakes poker game in Tacoma, and he lost everything. Also at this game was the owner of the Patricia Hotel, William Bowden, who saw that he had lost everything and then promptly offered him a gig playing here in Pat's Pub.
I wasn't aware that a master had lived in Vancouver, you know, Jelly Roll Morton. I mean, when I was told that, I just couldn't believe it. But I got down here into the room and we set up for our show, you know, in honor of him. And yeah, the energy, even coming in here today, was really, there's a lot of energy here. And I'm really happy that we're honoring Jelly Roll's presence here, because I think he still is present, his spirit, you know.
I think knowing this part of the Patricia's history really changes the way you look at it. You know, when you're sitting down here at the bar, it's not just a bar, it's the bar where Jelly Roll Morton sat and had a beer or a whiskey or whatever. You know, and the stage isn't just a stage now, it's the stage where this genius performed. Knowing this history, it gives you a sort of visceral connection to the past and to all these stories. And that's what we're trying to share with this album. We really hope people enjoy it.